Oh, look at that! Shout out DFK. His show right now, he's got Grinch on his thumbnail. That's pretty cool. What's up, everybody? It's Player Profiler today with Biggs and Chev. It is today. I am Biggs. He is Chev. Some people know me by my other nickname, Jameer Biggs. Other people know me by my other nickname, the Short Bus. We're here to break down the Week 17 matchups that have not happened. We had some games on Christmas Day. We had a hell of a game last night. I hope you all didn't waste much time watching it. But yeah, we're here to break everything down. How you doing, Chev? How was your Christmas?
It's always super relaxing when you don't have to travel, and that's where we didn't have to travel. I got to give my kids their gifts and stuff, and then get back in the bed. So that was fantastic. How was yours?
I was very surprised. My partner told me I need you to come with me to pick up your Christmas present because it's too heavy for me to lift. So we got in the car, drove to the gas station, got gas, and then she goes, "Do you want me to tell you, or do you want to be surprised?" And I said, "Of course, I want to be surprised." So she had me drive. I thought we were going to Costco. We went past Costco. We got on the freeway. I thought we were going to Sacramento. We got to the airport, and I'm thinking, is it like some heavy cargo at the airline or whatever? And she said, take Terminal A. And that hit me. American Airlines, she flew my kids up from Phoenix to come see me. I got two grown-ass sons, 22 and 31, and she flew them up from Phoenix, and they were here to celebrate the holidays. So it was pretty fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I had no idea. I was so snowed. And they laughed at me for the last 3 days because I had no clue. I'm just, I have faith in people around me to like tell me what's really going on and everything. So yeah, and you guys out there, I hope that your Christmases or whatever holidays you celebrate have gone very well. I hope you won some money last week over on Underdog or in the Fast Draft app. I came out of last weekend $40 ahead in Fast Draft, so that felt pretty good. And we'll get you more about Fast Draft a little bit later. But first, our top stories are basically the injuries, and I put in the thumbnail. We have CeeDee Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys. They gave up, put him on the IR. He's done for the rest of the season. What can we expect from the Cowboys going up against the Eagles? Do they have like a fighting chance? We'll get into the matchup later, but there's no CeeDee Lamb now.
This is ironically, these are the spots where the Cowboys are just strangely plucky, and they keep it. It's a like Kenny Pickett being the opposite side, like being the opposite quarterback to Cooper Rush, is not what you had on your bingo card, especially if you were a best ball drafter this summer for this Week 17 showdown. But I think that this is going to be a much more competitive game than it is currently being given credit for. I do think Saquon Barkley is going to crush people's souls if you're opposing him this week, as he closes in on Eric Dickerson's rushing yardage record.
Yeah. Saquon is a smash this week, and how do the Cowboys even approach this game, especially without their quarterback, without their star wide receiver? It's just ugly. Other news, Derek Carr was fighting to get back for his revenge game hosting the Las Vegas Raiders. He is not going to play. They're going to roll with Spencer Rattler. So we got a pillow fight going down in New Orleans. That should be fun.
That's so disappointing. That was another game that I was really excited about, looking forward at the beginning of the season, like Derek Carr revenge game. That should be fun, but he had to go and break his hand and not be fun.
I was trying to get down there, being a Raiders fan, having family in Louisiana. I'm going to the Super Bowl, but my initial plan was to go and spend New Year's in New Orleans and go watch Derek Carr against the Raiders. I never had it materialize, and I'm very glad I didn't, because the Raiders are probably going to disappoint me and win the game, and I wouldn't even get to see Derek Carr. So, yeah, that would be terrible. And then finally, the last part of the thumbnail, Arizona Cardinals running back James Conner left the game last week, breaking the hearts of quite a few people in fantasy. I know a specific someone that we host shows with who in Campus again, I traded James Conner to him for his championship run. He gave me Emeka Egbuka, Ohio State wide receiver, and Tyler Warren, Penn State. They're coming out next year in the rookie class. He got James Conner, who put up 25 points, and Mike lost by 1.
Yep.
So
same situation for me in 2 different leagues.
It's rough. It's so rough to get so close, and it's like somebody leaving the game is the difference. Like that hurts so bad.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to these matchups so I can get to work. We had the Chiefs still not getting to 30 points, yet they somehow won the game, and they're something and 1, 15 and 1, whatever. Anyway, and then we had this last night, the Seahawks and the Bears. Wow.
If you want to call that a football game, you can call it a football game, I guess.
Wow, people were playing football. And we also saw the Ravens absolutely obliterate the Houston Texans. That was the second game on Christmas night. We talked in another show about potential MVP candidates. That was on the fantasy side, but something was brought up about the NFL side. Lamar Jackson, clear-cut, repeat MVP, right?
Yes. I just laid a bet down at plus 180 for Lamar to win MVP. I tried to get it a few weeks ago when it was minus. I should have gotten it last week when it was minus 400, but I wasn't strong enough to pull the trigger. But this seems to be the thing. Like last year, I got it at plus 900 before week 13, I want to say, and that netted me about $1,300. So, yeah, we do this thing. They do this thing where they try to find a reason to give it to somebody else, and then Lamar reminds you that he is one of one.
Yeah, I think they say in the business he is good. All right, leading off, we got the Los Angeles Chargers at 9-6, playing their way into the playoffs against the New England Patriots, who are in rebuild mode. They are 3-12. For the Chargers, Gus Edwards is out. Trey Pipkins and Denzel Perryman are out as well. J.K. Dobbins should be back. Will Dissly, Hayden Hurst, and Elijah Molden, they are all questionable. For the Patriots, we have Ben Brown and Marcus Jones out. Caden Wallace, Cole Strange, Curtis Jacobs, Titus Leo, Anthony Jennings, Sione Takitaki, Jalen Tavai, Kyle Duggar, and Jabril Peppers are all questionable. Just an absolute shit show for the New England Patriots this season, although we kind of did see that coming. Nobody really gave them much shot. Drake May's been a very, very pleasant surprise, and the Los Angeles Chargers go into this game with a full head of steam. They're favored by 5. Although they are traveling to the East Coast, which I know that you hate, 5 is an easy bet, right?
But it's 3:30 though. It's not a 12 o'clock kickoff. That is the caveat. I hate West Coast teams traveling east to play at noon because the bio clock is 9 a.m. for them.
Oh, it's 1 Eastern. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Still, 5 is an easy bet.
Yeah, 5. Yeah. 5 is still. I feel like that's pretty solid. I think that J.K. Dobbins, the Chargers want to control the game on the ground, and I do think that they'll be able to do that pretty comfortably. I don't know.
New England doesn't stop anybody on the ground.
No, it's not that's why we both are pretty bullish on J.K. Dobbins' rushing yards and his usage this week, especially considering that there's no Gus Edwards. So, yeah, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be firing J.K. Dobbins up.
Yeah, I think when I do my 8 legs on underdog, I think I'm gonna roll with touches for J.K. Dobbins or rushing attempts. Maybe give Kamani Vidal a couple of receptions. But I feel like J.K. Dobbins
on there? Yeah, you can.
Just gonna get the ball all game long. J.K. Dobbins to the moon. All right, Denver Broncos staying in the AFC West. Denver Broncos, they are traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals, plucky on offense, an absolute sieve on defense. Can't stop anybody. I think you said something about couldn't cover a fire with a wet towel. And the Broncos are playing. They're trying to play their way in. This is another Western side team traveling, but they will be playing at 4:30 Eastern time, 1:30 Pacific. And the Cincinnati Bengals are in a unique position in that they are trying to they have to take care of themselves and get some help. Part of that taking care of themselves and getting that help is to win this game. So they are fully incentivized. Denver and the Chargers are tied at this point. Denver has to think that New England is going to win this game, so they have to be trying too. We're looking at the weather reports for Cincinnati on Saturday evening, and we have a potential spread of Cincinnati being favored by 3. I think what Vegas is looking at is both of these teams are incentivized and they're mid-level playoff teams, so you give the advantage to the home team.
Yeah, it would give you just go quarterback to quarterback, and then that's where the advantage is starts and ends. There is such a chasm of quarterback play between Joe Burrow and Bo Nix that there's 10 different ways Joe Burrow could slice this up and win the game. Whereas you're trying to fit a golf ball through a straw to get Bo Nix to win anyway, other than, some fluky big play. And, the Cincinnati Bengals turning the ball over multiple times.
Yeah, there is a big flip on the defensive side of the ball too, and that is the Broncos defense versus the Bengals defense.
Is Levi Wallace? Is he still playing cornerback for the Denver Broncos?
As far as I know, the only questionable call for the Broncos is Tyler Batty. On the Bengals side, Hubbard is out, Sheldon Rankins is out, Tanner Hudson is doubtful. T. Higgins is questionable, Charlie Jones, Amarius Mims, Joseph Osai, and Geno Stone.
Oh, wow. So Riley Moss is back.
Yes.
Okay.
And one of the things that we talked about in our other show is I pointed out how the Bengals tend to give up a lot of points, but they're also very opportunistic on defense. They get a lot of fumble recoveries, interceptions. They sack the quarterback quite often. But then they also are prone to giving up big plays and long drives.
Yeah, they suck at stopping the run, but they're really good at punching the ball out and or intercepting it.
Yeah. But I still think we both give it to the Bengals because we're looking at 100%. Quarterback play.
Yeah.
We have an NFC West tilt. I was informed today that the Cardinals are out of it. Los Angeles Rams gunning for that AFC West crown. Cardinals at Rams. For the Cardinals, Elijah Jones, Joey Blunt, and Matt Prater are out. Trey Benson, James Conner, Evan Brown, and Baron Browning are questionable for the Rams. Rob Havenstein is the only questionable call. Rams favored by 6. Not really much to play for on the Cardinals side of the ball, except for to play spoiler. Matchup is, kind of even. But Arizona they are a spoiler team.
Are you
got the Rams, probably?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. One, this has been, for the most part, this has been a nightmare matchup for Kyler Murray. I know that they humiliated the Rams earlier in the season, but things have changed, and the Rams have found an identity, and that identity has moved away from Matthew Stafford carrying the offense to Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams being the focal points of the offense. So, yeah, I think that we're going to get a heavy dose of Kyron Williams with some Puka Nacua sprinkled in, and the Rams win pretty handily. But Trey McBride touchdown this week.
A little Blake Corum on the side for dessert.
Not even if there's a fire.
All right, we got a question in the chat. In fantasy, Dobbins or Thielen at flex? I'm going Dobbins.
I would also go Dobbins pretty comfortably.
All right. Okay. Now Indianapolis Colts, they're are they out?
No, they're still mathematically they are
Right?
still alive. I think that if Denver wins, they would be mathematically eliminated.
Got it. Okay, so you're telling me there's a chance. Indianapolis Colts at New York Giants. Giants are 2-13. They're in the driver's seat for the number 1 pick and Cam Ward. For the Colts, Anthony Richardson is questionable. That's a big story to follow. Mo Alley Cox, Quentin Nelson, Jalen Carleys, EJ Speed, Julius Brents. That's a lot of star power that's kind of banged up on the Colts side. For the Giants, John Michael Schmitz is out. Micah McFadden is out. Raheem Lane, Greg Stroman, all out. Malik Neighbors is questionable. Austin Schlottman, Armin Watts, and D. Williams are questionable as well. Flip a coin. I'm kidding. Indy wins this pretty handily, especially if Anthony Richardson doesn't play and it's Joe Flacco season. I can see even a bigger yardage total for the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, another 200-yard performance to bring home. Yeah,
cooking. The Giants. But that's a dumpster fire. All right. That's our first Sunday game, by the way. Everything else that we talked about before that was on Saturday. Next Sunday game, New York Jets 4-11, Buffalo Bills 12-3. For the Jets, Lakey Fotu is out. Devontae Adams questionable. Morgan Moses, Quinnen Williams, Braden McGregor, Hassan Reddick, Michael Carter II, Sauce Gardner, and Tony Adams. They are all on the questionable report. Bills, DeMar Hamlin, Cam Lewis, Curtis Samuel, and Taylor Rapp are all questionable. Another one, I mean, we're just hit. It's just chalk all the way down.
Yeah.
Buffalo is a 9.5-point favorite. They're playing at home.
Don't try to talk yourself into the Jets by any stretch of the imagination. No. And that's not just for you. That's for anybody listening. I know that some people try to find reasons this team could be plucky. This isn't the spot. Josh Allen's playing for an MVP. They're still playing, I guess, have they locked up the 2 seed? I'm pretty sure they locked up the 2 seed, right? Pretty sure. Yeah. So, yeah, they're playing for an MVP and to just keep the Jets underneath their boot heel. Bills by 1 million.
That's a lot of points. All right. Now we get into we have dueling pillow fights. Pillow fight A and pillow fight B. Which is the biggest pillow fight of the week? First one is your Tennessee Titans traveling to Jacksonville, who just took an L from the Raiders. Colton Dowell for the Titans is out. Dylan Radins, Otis Reese, and Nick Folk, kickers, are out. Questionable is Tony Pollard, Tyler Boyd, Bryce Oliver, and Amani Hooker. For the Jaguars, Walker Little, Ventrell Miller, and Darnell Savage are out, and Yasir Abdullah is questionable. It looks like Jacksonville is a 1-point favorite. So this is pretty much a toss-up. We got the battle of Mac Jones versus Mason Rudolph, just like everybody knew we would see coming into the season. It's a running team with the Tennessee Titans. It's although Mason Rudolph is pretty plucky. And then it's a Brian Thomas Jr. team on the Jaguars side. How do you see this one playing out? Not that anybody cares beyond you and Schultze.
Jags by 1 million.
Alex, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. All right, you guys.
With us.
Little bit of background. Alex Flores he chimed in on our show that we just did on the Undroppables Network about an hour ago, and he asked a starter sit question, and there were 5 of us, and all 5 of us absolutely spaced it. We did have a discussion afterwards. I'm on the Dobbins side. The other guys are on the Debo side. I like Dobbins as a floor play. If you want to go with Debo's possible upside, that's fair. But I'm on Dobbins floor.
I don't think that's incorrect. Even though it's a 50-point over under, you can't. There's no reliability in what you've seen from Debo in the last. I mean, granted, he did have a good game last week, but that's the first good game since like week 4. So,
Okay.
Dobbins, please.
All right, and then Mr. Magic chiming in. What's up, Mr. Magic? Thanks for checking in the chat. I don't know what to do between Dobbins or Spears because Dobbins plays tomorrow and Pollard hasn't been ruled out yet. I say go with Dobbins then.
Yeah, go with Dobbins.
Pollard also has incentives. He needs 83 rushing yards for a $250,000 payday.
Yeah, still go with Dobbins.
And Jamie Pirog is in the chat. My dudes. What's up, Jamie? Thanks for jumping in another chat. Saw you last night, and it's always good. All right. So I don't remember what you said. Jaguars or Titans?
I said Jags by 1 million.
Oh, that's a lot. All right. Pillow fight number 2 down in the Big Easy. We got the Las Vegas Raiders at 3-12 against the New Orleans Saints at 5-10. We have where is it? Spencer Rattler and the Saints are favored by 2 points over the Raiders, coming off a 1-game win streak. For the Raiders, guard Jordan Meredith, who has been kind of a key factor on the offensive line with Las Vegas. He is out this week. They've had a hard time putting together a functional offensive line throughout the course of the season. When Meredith came in as the right guard, they kind of they solidified in the run game a little bit, and we saw Sincere McCormick kind of play well, and he hasn't been a liability in pass defense or in pass coverage. Good Lord, pass protection, but he's out. For the Saints, Derek Carr is out. Alvin Kamara has been ruled out. Eric McCoy is out, and Lucas Patrick. Chris Olave, parentheses head. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, parentheses chest. Nathan Shepard, parentheses eye. And Rico Payton, illness, are questionable. Olave is questionable with a head. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is questionable with a chest. And Nathan Shepard is questionable with an eye. Love the injury designations. I have the Raiders in this one, unfortunately.
Yeah. Brock
it's
Bowers.
Aiden and Spencer. It's Brock and Jacoby. Maybe Olave plays. Maybe he doesn't.
Brock Bowers sets the record for rookie record for receptions this weekend. Yeah.
Can't
Raiders.
wait. Cannot wait. All right, and we have the Panthers.
Do we like the potential of points being scored there though?
It's 19 and 20, 40. It's 40.
Yeah.
I like it over 40.
Yeah, me too. That's what I really wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping there because I think that both of these defenses are so stripped bare bones that even Spencer Rattler could figure it out. Maybe.
That's a lot of faith in Spencer Rattler.
It's too much faith in Spencer Rattler, but I'm just saying.
Faith in Spencer Rattler. All right. Take the Raiders plus and also the over. Panthers and Buccaneers. Panthers are 4-11. They're playing for pride. The Buccaneers are playing for a playoff spot and that division win. Where are the Falcons? Are they? Falcons are 8-7 also. So yeah, it's a race. It's an absolute race. I'm going with the Bucs in this one. For the Panthers, Josie Jewell is out. Chow Smith-Wade is out. Taylor Moton and J.C. Horn are doubtful. Chuba Hubbard, Xavier Legette, Damian Lewis. Great work on billions, by the way. Ashawn Robinson, Jadeveon Clowney, Cam Gill, and DJ Wonham are all questionable for the Buccaneers. Sterling Shepard is out. Oh, no. Cade Otton is out. Oh, no. And Antoine Winfield Jr. is out again. Rough season for him. Cameron Johnson, KJ Britt, and Jordan Whitehead are all questionable. You got to lean Tampa, but this is a potential shootout. Tampa is favored by 8. Implied point total is 29 on the – oh, wait, you gave me a chart.
Yeah. Yeah, Tampa, implied point total 28, spread 8.5. Over-under is 47.5.
Over-under is 47. So the line has moved in favor of the Buccaneers, and the over-under is 47.5. So Vegas thinks that this is going to be like Carolina is not going to go quietly into the night.
No.
I just don't know if they can compete with the Buccaneers.
I think they'll be able to score. I don't think that they have any sort of prayer of stopping the Buccaneers in any way, shape, or form, which is why Bucky Irving was my start of the week on the fantasy show.
Yes. There you go. And go with the receivers and Bryce Young on the Panthers side. All right. Dallas Cowboys packing it up. They're playing the Philadelphia Eagles. This is one of the most lopsided games of the week. 10.5-point favorites for the Eagles. That's the biggest line. And, CeeDee Lamb is out. Amani Oruwariye, thank you. Kamon Hall and TJ Bass, who doesn't even have a player link. Sorry, CeeDee Lamb, Amani Oruwariye, and Kamon Hall are out. TJ Bass, who doesn't have a player link, is doubtful with a thigh injury. Jalen Brooks, Jalen Tolbert, Chuma Edoga, Asim Richards, Eric Kendricks, Nick Vigil, and Donovan Wilson are questionable for the Cowboys. Pretty easy Eagles win. Eagles have the potential to absolutely lock up the second seed in the NFC.
Yep.
With designs on maybe going on a 2-game run and overtaking the Lions if San Francisco can get frisky on Monday. So that the NFC is not over yet, you guys.
Can they?
Well, they're 12-3. So if they finish the last 2 games at 14-3, and then maybe if the Lions drop 2.
I had this conversation with somebody else. The Lions have a better conference record, and if they lost this week and lost, they would have to lose this week and next week in order to lose the 1 seed.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Philly wins out and Detroit loses out, and Philly is the one.
Yeah. Math.
I don't know who Detroit's playing next week, but
Vikings. They're playing for the division next week, unless they win this week, in which case they have the 1 seed locked up.
There you go. And that's what I'm rooting for personally. All right. For the next matchup, we have Miami Dolphins traveling to Jamie Pirog's Cleveland Browns, 3-12 for the Dolphins. Anthony Walker and Kendall Fuller are out. Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, D. Eskridge, Jalen Waddle, Teron Armstead, and Jordan Poyer are questionable. For the Browns, Cedric Tillman, David Njoku, Ogbo Okoronkwo, not to be confused with Chig Okonkwo, and they're all out, and Jameis Winston is questionable but not likely to play. With DTR running the show, Dolphins carry this one easy.
Pretty easily, especially with DTR at quarterback. Yeah, lock it up.
All right, the matchup of the week, or the matchup of Sunday anyway, is it's a second slate game, so it's not our evening game is going to be Atlanta and Washington, but this is probably the matchup that everybody wants to be tuned into. It's Green Bay traveling to Minnesota. Green Bay is 11-4. Minnesota is 13-2. That NFC North is trying to get 3 teams into the playoffs. I think they're going to do it. For the Packers, Andre Dillard, Quay Walker, Jair Alexander, and Evan Williams are all out. Christian Watson is dealing with symmetry. He is questionable. Tyron Hopper and Javon Bullard or Bullard, they are questionable. This one is hard to call. I know that Minnesota is home. I know that Minnesota has Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson and Aaron Jones. And I know that they are favored by 1.5. But Green Bay, they might make some noise, right?
Yeah, I think Green Bay's found something in simplifying the game and making teams primarily defend Josh Jacobs, and then prefacing the offense that way, and then whatever comes behind that in the passing game is something that teams have to, haven't really been able to deal with when they are forced or they decide to throw the football. I mean, because nobody's been able to make them get away from Josh Jacobs. If that is the case, I do think that Green Bay has a really, really good shot to win this game. But I could also, it's just basically for me, hey, are the Vikings going to lean on their run game and try to take the ball out of Sam Darnold's hands as well? And if it comes down to Aaron Jones versus Josh Jacobs, give me Josh Jacobs every time.
Yeah, but if there is a team that is going to be able to step in and kind of suppress Josh Jacobs, I'm pretty sure it's the Vikings or the Ravens.
Yeah, 100%.
And so the Vikings defense could be a big factor. Their run defense could be a huge factor in this game. This one's a tough call. I think it's more of a coin flip than the records show, especially given that it's a late season divisional matchup with lots of implications. Green Bay, if they win out, they're 13-4, and Minnesota, if they lose the next two to Green Bay and Detroit, then both of those teams are 13-4. So with Green Bay carrying a tiebreaker probably. So
13 win wildcard teams is insane.
Yeah, this is a fantastic matchup. And also that speaks to how little parity there is right now in the NFL. You have so many teams in the bottom 10. It hasn't been like that in a long, long time. Not since free agency was the 49ers game. Before the salary cap. Pre-salary cap is what my brain was trying to get out there. For the Vikings, Fabian Moreau is out and Ivan Pace Jr. is questionable. All right, and then to finish it up for Sunday night, Atlanta traveling to Washington. We have a battle of rookie quarterbacks, and Michael Penix Jr. Versus Jaden Daniels. Both of them are 30? For the Falcons, Antonio Hamilton is out. Kevin King is out. For the Commanders, De'Ami Brown is out. Fire up Olamide Zaccheaus. Andrew Wiley is out. Jordan McGee is out. Marshawn Lattimore will not play. Tyler Owens as well. Marcus Mariota is, it says NIR personal. Questionable, but I think, it was questionable. Okay, and then Jonathan Allen is questionable as well. You got to take Washington with this one just because we got Penix in there in his second start trying to figure it out. Washington is a well-oiled machine. They got 15 games under their belt with this system, with this Cliff Kingsbury offense, with Jaden Daniels playing quarterback, with Brian Robinson Jr. and Terry McLaurin and all those matchups. You got to go with Atlanta on this one.
Yeah. That doesn't feel comfortable betting against Jaden Daniels at home.
No.
But
no. And 4-point favorites, I can see the fact that a Kirk Cousins led Falcons team didn't do a whole lot against the Raiders. I could see the Commanders winning this by well more than 4 points.
Okay. Yeah. I'm fine with that. I don't love it. I don't love it.
Don't love it. All right. And then finally, Monday Night Football, we got the Lions and the Niners. Probably an easy Lions win. We don't have injury calls at this point. but I'm not looking for the 49ers to do much at this point, even if Isaac Guerendo is back.
Yeah, that has very little bearing on the outcome of the game to me. To me, it depends on whether or not the 49ers have some sort of semblance of an answer at offensive tackle, with Trent Williams missing for the rest of the year, being placed on injured reserve. That offense just doesn't look the same without him, and that's a part that I feel like not enough people are talking about. However, the Detroit Lions may just they have no choice but to capitulate to whatever Kyle Shanahan's going to want to do offensively. So I don't know. I have no idea who wins. I would think that it's going to be the Lions, but also we saw the Lions absolutely melt down in Santa Clara last year. So maybe those things are in the back of their head. What I do know is I like this to go over 50.5 points.
Yeah. And I mean, a couple weeks ago, we saw the 49ers and the Rams, and they each put on defensive clinics. So we know that the 49ers have that in their bag. They're going to be able to. They have the ability to kind of like make it hard for the Lions. But on offense, I feel like whatever deficiencies the Lions have on defense that will allow the 49ers to do some things like Brock Purdy being efficient, Deebo Samuel maybe having a big game, George Kittle having a monster game, Isaac Guerendo, having a 20-point fantasy week, whatever. Those possibilities that are there, I feel like the Lions can do what they need to do to win this game. And even if it's 3.5 point line, I don't know. I don't know that I wouldn't take the Niners and the points with this one. Just make it a 1 point game, a 2 point game. But I feel like Detroit will do enough to get the win.
I think Detroit does enough to get the win. However, 3.5 on the road to a team that, they have enough offensive pieces to keep it, to at least be able to score with the Lions. I would side on the points with the 49ers.
Yeah. Well, let's hear from Matt Kelly real quick on this fast draft thing. Have you heard of this? We'll be back on the other end.
Oh, incredible news about Fast Draft. Fast Draft DFS is live. It's called the Flex 6 Frenzy. You just draft 6 guys, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends for the Sunday slate. You like Jahmyr Gibbs? You like Jackson Smith and Jigba? You like Tyrone Tracy? Draft him. And the beauty is you can just order 5 teams, submit your rankings, and Fast Draft will email you the results. We awarded $1,000 in prizes our first week, and we're just going up from there. Soon there's going to be a select 6. No drafting at all. You just pick any 6 guys. Our DFS mantra, just say no to salaries on Fast Draft. Don't forget there's free tools on Fast Draft too. You want to get ready for startup season? We've created the best Dynasty mock draft experience there is. And if you want to play in these DFS contests, and our best ball contest for 2025 are coming very soon too, just use promo code PODFATHER when you deposit and you get a free draft. It's that easy. And you're like, oh, I already have Fast Draft. Great. Refer a friend. Have them put your username in as the promo code, and then you and your friend will both get an instant deposit match up to $25. We got DFS. We got Dynasty Mocks. We got Best Ball. It's all there for you on FastDraft.app. Check it out. And the promo code is PODFATHER.
Yes, sir. Get in there. Play your Fast Draft. Play your DFS. It is such a fun game. The one that I like is Quick 6 Super Slam. You go in there. It's a player pool that everybody can choose from. Here's the kicker, though. What makes the difference is how you apply the bonus points. There are 5 tiers or 6 tiers of bonus point, 5 tiers. 2 points, 1.5 points, 1 point added. And you decide who gets that. Is it best to give the low floor guy a big boost? Is it best to get your highest scorer a low boost because he provides you with a short floor? I don't know. That's what makes it so fun. So go in there and draft your team. In the Flex 6 Frenzy, you can do batch drafts. So what you do is you basically go in there, you fill out, you adjust your rankings, you order your guys, and then you hit turbo. And what it does is it automatically enters you into the draft. If you want a live draft, you wait for the draft room to open. You get in there. It's you and another person, and then 10 of the players that have done their pre-rankings and their turbos. And you sit there and you make your picks. And if you want to do that, you can do that. Last week, I did some turbo drafts, got in there, popped out with $35, $35 on a team that was totally drafted for me. And if you don't think that's the way to go, taking your bank times 7, I don't know what to tell you. Obviously not giving you financial advice, but Fast Draft is fun.
It is indeed. I haven't played as much. Jamie says he's going to play tons of Fast Draft. That a boy, Jamie.
Hey, there's still another week.
That's a good point.
Fantasy playoffs over. It's time for DFS, baby.
Yeah.
All right, we're about to get out of here. I'm gonna get in some snuggle time before I have to go to work. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. We will be back next week for week 18, and that will end the portion of our in-season player profiler today on Friday. I will revert back to the show format in the off season, and that'll be the following week after that. But I'm pretty sure that week we will start talking about playoff matchups. We'll get into the playoff season. We'll get into awards. There's going to be content. This is not a fantasy show, guys. This is an NFL news show based on player profiler player news, right? We write for the news desk. It's not a fantasy thing. We are updating player news. So this is season long. It doesn't apply to fantasy, so it will 100% apply in the playoffs up until the Super Bowl. We got a whole crew going down to New Orleans for the Super Bowl, so you're going to want to stay tuned for all that content. And so next week is the end of the season, end of the regular season. Then we get into our MVP calls. Hint, Lamar Jackson.
It rhymes with Kamar Waxon.
Our offensive rookie of the year call. It rhymes with Hayden Manuels. and things like that. So stay tuned for all those. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, play Fast Draft, all of that stuff. And we will see you guys next week. Have fun watching the games this weekend. Saturday football, you guys.
Hey, I want to thank you for being part of this broadcast. If you have any thoughts on it, leave a comment. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. And if you want to see more shows on the Player Profiler channel, subscribe to it. That's how we know you want more.